Well, it's rare I start these videos out here with only one knife, but this is the only one that I got here. Sure, why not? I'll use my Cormorant XL in beautiful 3V steel to open this little duder up here. It's probably some packing information, and ooh, we have a QSP. All right, this one's using their older school boxes for some of their more premium sort of knives ended up coming in, which I definitely like. We got we got a sticker, all right, and we got a little penguin, another sticker. Sure, why not? And yes, we can see from here this is a penguin. This is the second penguin that I've ended up getting, and this one just kind of really seemed interesting to me. There is, I think, there's about 30 variants of this knife thus far, but this one was really interesting. You can definitely tell this came from Knife Center because they are all about their orange accents on all their stuff. This one uses their what they call their Coral G10, which I do like the looks of. Let's see, trying to find an example or two. There it is. This was one of the first knives that I've got in this particular style of G10 here. This is a TwoSun. What is it? The 124, I guess, dash up. Probably because this has 14C28N, whereas I think the really original ones with the titanium handles were 12C27. That was long before I started collecting them. And this one has a whole bunch of, it's probably hard to get it on camera, but it's got some amazing micro milling kind of going on there, which I hoped was going to carry over on this. But this is quite polished, but that's okay. So the reason I ended up picking this guy up is, this is in CPM S35VN. And it is $64, which that's a hell of a bargain. Bark, bark, bark. Yep, we're taking care of another dog upstairs. This is a cute little corgi. Sorry, I don't have him down here, but, well, her. But, here's the other penguin that I have. This is the standard issue one with the Micarta scales, the denim Micarta in this particular case, and D2. This one doesn't have bearings going on in there, which is fairly standard for them, but they have released a couple of them that do. I think those are using the S35VN blade steel and the titanium handles or something like that. Yeah, it looks like we got basically the same blade stock thickness and other dimensionality kind of going on there. Let's see if I can still... Hey, I can't quite do that with this one. With these original ones here, if I really give a good grip on it, I can actually fail that lock. It's only if I give a good grip and then something smacks onto the top there, so it's not something that's unsafe necessarily, but yeah, there you go. At least this one seems to have alleviated that. At least I can't... Yeah, maybe if I ended up actually injuring myself, you can definitely see the remnants of that liner in there. But cool. Glad to have another one of these. Maybe one day. I'm apparently holding my breath, but I would love to see them do kind of the same thing in the Parrot, because I do prefer that blade shape just a little bit over just the standard sheep's foot kind of thing that we got going on here. But still, either way you go for it. I mean, these, at the time I got them, they were $28 a piece. I'm sure they've probably gone up a little bit, but hey, I mean, S35VN and G10 for $65, that's a pretty damn good deal. But yeah, that's the only one that I really got in today. I will be able to check out a couple more of them coming in, but you'll see very, very shortly. But until then, catch you later. Mystery package here. I don't know what's inside the thing, but it's addressed to me. It came from Virginia. However, this was the only knife that I got from Knife Center, who's based in Virginia. So I don't honestly know what's in here. Obviously, this isn't going to make it to my YouTube channel if this isn't knives. But yeah, I suppose for an opening knife, let's go for the 6-leaf SL19. I was just using it quite a bit today to break down a whole bunch of boxes to make recycling much easier. And yeah, this thing has a lot of power you can apply to it. It's quite a nice knife here. Oh, wow, this came faster than I thought. Okay. This is my stuff from the Olight sale. So yes, this does include a knife. It also, of course, includes the iMoors. One of these things came free, and then one of them was a little tiny bit of extra money kind of thrown on for a combo with this guy here. This guy being the Freeze 2. Yeah, and I got the one with copper scales, and wow, is it weighty. They only had one other version of it, which is G10 with the carbon fiber laminate that really didn't look anywhere near as attractive to me. But the knife in general certainly did. So let's go ahead and take a little look at this. I didn't get an actual shipping notification from Olight on this, just the the confirmation and all of that sort of stuff. That's going to be just a little tiny bit of documentation. Let's go ahead and pull that out. Hey, it's at least specific to the blade. Shows some maintenance kind of things, and some of the diagrams that you can probably find on Olight's website, as well as a lot of other places here. Yep, that's the standard sort of thing we end up seeing in these guys. We got the pouch here. Okay, we got that and that. And, of course, this is an O-knife, so we have a coin. And this one has a copper look to it. I'm pretty sure, at best, this is going to be a copper plating over most likely zinc or nickel. I think that's what most of these companies that mass manufacture coins for people do. But regardless, still nice and attractive, and it's gone forever as it fell off the backside of my tape. Alrighty, well, sweet. We had a sticker to go along with it. Alright. And yeah, this guy is vacuum packed. You'll generally see that on quite a few copper and brass handled knives, just to keep the oxidation down, so that I guess you can end up doing the patinaing yourself with your grubby little hands. Yeah, this thing weighs a not insignificant amount. We got a nice drop point going on here. I don't think, yeah, it's not really printed on here. It's not super attributed to a particular designer. I honestly don't know. I kind of don't think so at this point, but yeah, I haven't really seen Olight have any in-house designs. They have had some other ones, and Kaiser is the OEM for these guys. That's why you've seen Azo and Gage do a couple of designs for them. Certainly makes sense. And yeah, this looks to be another one of those in-house designs. It's got proud liners on it. Not exactly my absolute favorite thing. It makes me think that Azo might have had something to do in the design process, because he does that on almost everything that he does. I think they do that in an attempt to give a little bit of a sense of contouring, but in general, I just don't like the feel of those two thin parallel things there, rather than having the extra thickness of the scales. But this thing's got a whole bunch of jimping up here. This is basically where your thumb's supposed to be landing on it for your standard saber kind of grip to it. And yeah, it's super nice and comfortable for that. Again, this isn't going to be copper, but it is at least you know, coated or anodized. I would assume coated probably, as this is going to be a steel clip. And well, anodization doesn't quite work as well on steel as it does on aluminum and titanium. So there is that. 154 cm blade steel, so that's pretty nice. There was another huge one that they had. It's not absolutely super new, and it's not the Zilla. It's another one kind of like it, but it was the same price basically as most of the rest of them, which is I don't know, somewhere around $80 unless you can find them on sale or something like that. But yeah, just like the Zilla, flat slab G10, and it was D2 steel, and not super interested in that. But it is kind of that Chinese cleaver kind of shape to it. Had a whole bunch of belly to it, so it's kind of interesting, but maybe not for you know, super crazy EDC sort of things here. But yeah, this thing is super nice and attractive, and yes, weighs a whole bunch. Yeah, the action on it seems all right. I can definitely improve that a little bit by you know, taking it apart and cleaning it. Something that I was about to do to the QSP Penguin I got, an F35VN that you saw previously in the video. So there's that. Let me grab some measuring devices. So I'm curious on, like, especially the weight on this guy here. Let's go 2 ounces. Yeah, 5.22 ounces. So 148 grams. This is not a lightweight knife. And of course, the copper is going to do quite a bit of that. You know, the G10 and carbon fiber laminate one's going to be a little bit lighter, but in all honesty, it's not going to be feather-light compared to this one. We have some skeletonization going on the handles. On the non-lock bar side, and you see we got these 4 circles. And then we have a whole bunch of smaller circles on the lock bar side, which makes sense. So, and we have a matching large one at the back here. There we go. Yeah, you can see that. So they have weight relieved that just a little bit. So that's cool. You know, for me, years of carrying around a copper Zippo, I can say probably one of the fastest ways that you can end up getting one of these things to patina is basically polish it. My favorite for doing that was, you know, the Never Dull cotton wadding or something like that. And you clean it off and it would look all super nice and shiny like this for a day. And then, yeah, it would start to patina and corrode and look all that funky green real quick. So I guess that might be a real quick way to do one of those, I don't know, shipwreck kind of finishes that some people end up doing. But yeah, the problem with that is these things do come with a little bit of protective coating on them to begin with. And if you do use some metal cleaner or something like that, like I was saying, Never Dull or Flitz or anything like that, strips that off, and then the oxide, or, you know, from the oxygen around, you know, everywhere, just really seeps in super quick. But then you fight it for the rest of your life, and that's kind of annoying. So I would say just leave it be and just let it patina if that's what you want. But yeah, super nice. I like this design. I apparently got my neodymium magnet stuck to my ruler here. And yeah, we basically got 3¼ inch blade. Obviously there's a little bit of a notch there before the 0. So yeah, 3.25. That's probably right around where we're at for it. And yeah, super happy with that. Kaiser's been using 154 cm for a lot of their blades. It is a fantastic steel. You know, Benchmade's used it for a long time until, you know, begrudgingly, a few years back, they finally switched almost everything over to S30V for their baseline. But yeah, they switched to 154 cm from 440C. Oh, I don't know, right around the late 90s. I want to say that they ended up making the switch for most of that. So that's pretty cool. We got a little tiger badge going on here, so that's interesting. Or patch, whatever you want to call it, yeah. Yeah, cool. And I also got these guys here. I did purchase something that'll probably be coming up a little bit later in the video. It was one of the first Kaiser Friday knives that I was super, super jazzed about, so I ended up getting it. And it's a Kaiser Manganas, which, if I can remember which drawer I actually put them in. Aha, here we are. Here's one of them. This one, between these two, obviously, a long time ago, as I was talking about, the reason I'd end up painting my fingernails from time to time, I kind of swapped the different things around here. So yeah, as it came, it was copper and black G10, or you had brass and micarta, and I decided I would switch them up a little bit. But this one is going to have, I do believe it's brass and aluminum, but they are... They got fish scale kind of a thing going on for the blade texture, and it's I honestly don't remember which one it is. It's either M390 or 20CV. Either way, it doesn't really make a difference, as it's the same metallurgical steel, just made from Bowler Uderholm or Crucible here in the States. But either way, looked really great, and I really do enjoy these knives, so I wanted to have another one of those. So I got that. And, of course, since opening up some other stuff, I got some more TwoSuns on the way because they're releasing some. There's a new one by Jelly Jerry, a really, really crazy Persian large-ass knife going on. And I think a couple from Wong, he's one of my favorite designers. So, alrighty, I will quit rambling on so damn long and let you get back to your day. But, that being said, it's not going to be the end of the video because I'm sure I got some more stuff coming up. So, catch you then. Well, I got myself a mail call here. This is from White Mountain Knives. I don't remember what the hell I actually bought a while back, so I suppose I'll figure it out. Might as well use a Boker Tech Tool Mini. Something that I actually got on a ridiculously cheap sale because they've been discontinued from Blade HQ. I don't know, somewhere earlier in the year. Let's go ahead and open this guy up. Oh, okay. So this should be the Petrified Fish Mini Beluga. Interesting thing that I had recently seen about these guys is Blade HQ apparently started carrying their whole roster, or almost all thereof, so I don't know. But yeah, okay, so Kerchunk, yeah. Smaller one. This has the G10 handles on it. Pocket clip is basically the same. It doesn't say Mini Beluga on it or anything, but same kind of mounting stuff like that. This one seems probably, I don't know, like a little bit more normal sized for most folks. I still like the big one myself, but it might be just a little bit too overkill for some other people. This one's going to be a little bit different in the blade steel here. There we go. Yeah, 14C28N rather than the K110, aka D2, that the full size has. So pretty neat going on there. Yeah, the only thing I can say is hopefully the hardware on this seems to continue to work well. One of the really old ones that I got had some problems, and not one of the Belugas, but another in that series, the Scholar I got. One of the screws for the pocket clip are some of the threads are stripped there, so it never really tightens up all the way. Annoying. I hope that they end up, just keeping that in mind a little bit, that sometimes screws shouldn't only be held in by like one or two threads. And that sometimes that's not a very good idea for the long-term investment of a knife if someone wants to actually do some maintenance on the damn thing. But just like the large one here, this one also comes with some, in this case, looks like brass. I don't think it's phosphor bronze. I could be wrong though. In case you don't want the ball bearings that are already in the clip there. Yeah, this one's a little bit more difficult to front flip than the large one. Just a little bit less sort of tip kind of sticking out there. You can still use that fuller though, so that's great. And yeah, it comes with another set of hardware screws in there, which is great. They don't match the black hardware that's actually on it though. That's a little strange to me. I don't know, maybe you wanted to change the color, or basically that was just what they had kind of sitting around. Yeah, this was the stuff that they sent me to try to replace the pocket clip screw on the Scholar, and none of them are actually long enough because it was the really long screw at the top there. So yeah, they look pretty darn similar. So whatever. But yeah, this was just kind of a interesting aside that I wanted to pick up. Wanted to see kind of how their 14C28N ends up working out, since I haven't really done that much on the other ones here. And yeah, I really do like this design. It's pretty darn good. I still think I do like the full size just a little bit more, but you know, that thing is a gigantic bruiser of a knife. This one still isn't small, but yeah, just shy of 3 inches rather than being 3.5 inches and much taller and all that sort of good stuff. But all right, yeah. Well, I was busy and probably spent way too much money on some knives over the last couple of days. So I do have a heck of a lot coming up. I don't know how much of it's going to make it into this video, but I suppose we'll find out over the next week or so when stuff starts rolling in. Until then, catch you later. Well, I'm back quicker than I thought. I got a couple of knives that showed up. I don't actually remember which ones, but let's go ahead and open it up. Sure, I'll use the Oknife Zilla for this one. It's a fun little piece to play around with. Looks like I got some TwoSuns. Yep, 2 of them. Neat. I have quite a few more of them on the way. I've been busy diminishing my bank account recently. Hopefully there's an end in sight to that. We'll have to see. Okay, this is going to be one of the little budgety guys. Yeah, and as such, it's got some packaging schmutz on it. This is using Micarta. As you can see, yeah, it is their more recent canvas-style Micarta rather than the kind of funky burlap stuff that they've been using in the past that they referred to as linen micarta. I suppose in the fact that it was made from a fabric of some sort here. All right, yeah, we got their standard deep carry pocket clip. They've had that on there for quite a bit of them. Yeah, I can see already this is a Y-Start design, or at least collaboration with. I will probably pull out the other one then. See if I can't locate it. Aha, here we are. No, okay. This is the 345, and this is the 147. All right, not the 346. That would have made way too much sense. But that was actually a reserve for this gigantic dude right here. So yeah, it's another design collaboration with Y-Start here. But TwoSun's done all that, so if you do have any kind of worries and things like that with Y-Start, not exactly using the steels that they said they were using. This was back in 2017. I don't think it's a problem at all anymore, but hey, I should probably at least bring it up there. But yeah, this is much more of a really, really tiny, compound grind American style Tonto here. We got a nice hollow grind going on here. Very, very small as far as that goes. And the standard one right there. Otherwise, there's a lot of similarities going on here. I do like the micarta on this one a little bit more than this. This one looks a little funky and crusty. I haven't actually tried to apply oil or anything like that, but this one in general just the milling on it just doesn't seem quite up to snuff, whereas this one seems a little bit better. However, this one doesn't have any lock bar access whatsoever. We got, yeah, the 345 definitely does. No problems there. It's not the absolute smoothest, but this one really doesn't have anything for you to grab onto. So you're just worried about the little chamfers or scallops out area there. And it's difficult, I'm not going to lie. That's not exactly the best way to go about implementing a liner lock here. This is a 2.5 finger knife, but you do have a finger choil there. If you do actually have a finger small enough to use that, you probably have a 3.5 finger kind of grip to it. But that ain't me. Yeah, this is D2 as well. Looks like they are numbering these as well. This one's number 48 out of them. For this other one here, the 345, it's number 158. So it's kind of interesting. Definitely has this large fuller here, which, you know, if I had a little bit more room, I could actually deploy it with that. As it is now, unless you got, I don't know, a bone spur sticking out of your middle finger, you're probably not going to be able to open it that way. But, you know, flipper tab works super well on it there. So, yeah, that's an interesting one for being a little bit smallish. Tonto kind of thing. I guess maybe like the Civivi and Wii Thug, or Thug 2, a little itty bitty one there. That's kind of what comes to mind for it, but I do think that one's just a little bit larger than this one. All right, anyway, let's see. I have one other one here. So, what do we got? Looks like we have a Wong design. All right, a little bit less schmutz, but still, we have some packing oil going on there. And I can bet you can figure out from what this blade looks like closed, what it's going to look like opened. Yep, this is going to be another one of those Hawkbill style blades. It just recently come out with a couple of them. This one, I think, was probably made around the same time as far as the design goes, but a little less karambit-ish, since it doesn't really have, you know, the whole hole back there. Yeah. Of course, it's another one in D2. This is the TS355. We have a little bit of a G10 in there, just for an accent. And, yeah, I don't dislike how that looks. Not a huge amount of lock bar access there, but still, it's fairly easy to get in there to move that, since this is a titanium subframe. Since it does have that one little notch there, I wouldn't have minded it if that was internal, so it doesn't really have this kind of messing up a little bit of the line there, but hey, what are you going to do? And, well, I'm not a gigantic fan of how he ended up incorporating a lanyard loop on this guy. For one, it's way before the end of the handle there, so if you are trying to have something loop out there, it does have to travel around that a little bit, and it's not exactly the most attractive thing. Doesn't make or break it if that's a particular design of a knife that you like there. We got a pretty nice grind going on here. The tip comes down to a pretty nice point going on there. Yeah, that's nice and vicious. And it also has these little thumb discs here at the side. You can, because it's kind of angled away from it, really easy to flick that out with them. But it is something where you have to be a little bit lower down. It's probably going to be a little bit more difficult to, yeah, do that slow roll out there. But because it's also separated, nice and easy to do a reverse flick on there. And this thing is a crazy drop shutty already out of the box. So that's super cool. I will, of course, clean that up and everything. But yeah, this thing really, really drops shut. So that's all sorts of cool. Blade is nice and protected in there. Not really anything that I can come into contact with. And the tip, yeah, you can't really get to that either. But it is quite open back there. So there's that. We got basically a single piece of, or single attachment point for the titanium milled pocket clip. It's writing on the G10 there. This isn't peel ply texture, so it's not going to chew up your pocket when you're getting that guy in and out of there. And yeah, it seems quite nice and sturdily built there, so I don't really have any issues with any of that. This one seems like it would be quite vicious to accidentally get struck by if someone was doing like a snap cut on you, or I don't know, any other thing that's not a human. I'm not able to get monetized yet, but come on, YouTube, work with me here. So, let's see. For the sharpening choil on this one, yeah, it is a very, very gradual thing there. It does look like it's fairly shallow beforehand, but it takes almost out to the blade there to deal with that. So if you are sharpening this thing, depending on the method and all that sort of stuff, you might want to watch your stones on that. But hey, this is already a rather crazy recurve on it, so you're most likely not going to be sharpening this on a flat stone anyway. So maybe just a little bit less of a problem than would otherwise be. And yeah, I guess for this guy, that plunge grind is it's fairly lazy. It's not super sharp to it, but I think it ends quite a bit before the blade actually starts there. So you're probably good with this guy as well. All right. Yeah. I do kind of like how this one arches up. It's not the blade's not fully canted down like you would see on some of them. That actually makes it a little bit easier to get your tip up and around things. You don't have to move in quite the exaggerated fashion that you would otherwise. So yeah, this thing looks super, super cool. Can't wait to play around with this and sharpen them on up and all that other good stuff. But, all right, that's all I got for now. I think I got some more coming on the way. Some stuff from White Mountain Knives. I think there's a Rough Rider slip joint and a new Trevisa that I got coming in from them. And I don't know, there's other stuff that's coming my way. So, yep, catch you then. Well, this one has been sitting in my mailbox for a couple of days. I didn't realize it because I didn't really get any confirmation on it before. But, alright, here we go. Sure, why not? Unboxing knife this time around. TwoSun 279. That's a old night morning design. Yeah, I did the NO work. It's not super great, but it's blurple. Blurple's good. I like blurple. Okay. And we have Kaiser. I do believe I alluded to this in a previous video. Work with me here, box. There we go. And yeah, we can see it's not a Vanguard one by the way that this goes. And hey, it's part of the Kaiser Friday Club. First one I purchased. We got their standard stuff. So we got a little fistful of extra hardware. I always like that. Pouch for it and everything. And here we are. Okay, yep, still heavy. This is another Manganas. It's the Grazioso, but this one's just a little bit different. Let's see if I can't find and pull out the other ones. Here we are. So, find the differences. Okay, well, it's got a brass bolster like the other one here. The back, we have green aluminum, so it's not G10 or the Micarta from the other ones. And this one is an M390, which is actually kind of interesting because Kaiser does a lot of work with 20CV. I'm not necessarily sure why they went with M390 on this one in particular, but hey, it's the same stuff. Pocket clip's going to be about the same. Yep. Pretty much exactly the same. But yeah, I'm getting a lot of Aquaman vibes off of this. I'm not really into superheroes or anything like that. I more or less kind of like that a little bit more from the, I don't know, fish scale sort of thing going on. But yeah, I do like this knife quite a bit. And now having it in something other than N690, which these guys came in, super fantastic. Let's see. Yep, they're about the same. We have a vertical satin going on the flats, and then we have more traditional, horizontal, and then vertical for the flats there. But yeah, nice. Feels pretty good. I could probably get that action to work just a little bit better. This one has the black hardware and everything like that the G10 and copper originally had, which, that's fine. And it looks all right. But I do suppose if I wanted to, I could opt for the silver stuff, because I do have the liners and everything like that for it. I'm pretty sure these things basically have the same kind of dimensionality and stuff like that. But I don't know. Maybe I'll figure that out at some point if I do want to go that way. All right. Well, it was nice actually retrieving this guy from the mail. I got quite a few more coming up in a little bit here, so I will catch you back then. All right, well, one showed up early, so I will go ahead and open this. This is Blade HQ. I think they had a discontinued Kaiser sale that was going on. And one of them looked interesting. It was at a ridiculously cheap price. Yeah, well, here we go, yeah. Hashtag knife life. Yep, so we got another Kaiser. Should be a Dirk Pinkerton design. It is. It's the Rogue. Passion, pride, performance. Designed by Kaiser. And or Dirk Pinkerton. Or whatever. Hey, neat. Actually comes with not much, but a little bit of extra hardware in here too. Alright. So yeah, Kerchunk. We got this guy. This is the Rogue, as you can see by the little insignia there, and I've said earlier it's a Dirk Pinkerton design. This is basically a titanium frame lock in S35VN. A little bit over 3 inches. This is kind of like a little bit larger version of a fire ant. That's also another Kaiser knife, but that one was just a little under 3 inches. S35VN blade. Yep. And yeah, got this thing for what I consider to probably be a screaming deal for something like this. It was well under $100, 88 or 82, I think it came out to after all was said and done. But yeah, it's a pretty nice Warncliffe style blade going on there. Like I said, just a little bit larger than the Fire Ant, which was also on sale. We got some channels in here. We have brushed aluminum. Interesting to see a different finish besides just bead blast. That being said, the anodized clip absolutely is. The lock actually does interface just a little tiny bit with the clip, but basically only when it's fully closed. So it's not really applying pressure to it while it's in the closed position. I guess maybe unless nope, even squeezing on the clip doesn't really do that. It's got a fairly strong detent though. I'm sure that'll wear in a little bit over time. And I see we have some internal jimping going on the front and back, along with those nice large jimpings going on there. That will help if you want to grip back a little bit, and I suppose if you had a smaller hand or something like that, you could use a little reverse grip kind of action with that. My hand's certainly not large enough or small enough for that to work out on this particular one. And we got some little guys there. Not too bad for the plunge grind here. You can see it does terminate a little bit before the blade sharpening starts, and it is a little bit further forward, so not too bad. This is a high saber grind, nice stone wash on the blade, so that's great. Yeah, not a huge amount really to say on that one. Other than, yeah, this thing was quite cheap because they were discontinued, and apparently Blade HQ had a few of them left. It was cheap enough that they couldn't actually advertise the price until you were on the checkout page, which means it's below what Kaiser or, you know, the other knife manufacturers actually set as street price, so they can't advertise it. So, that's kind of how it is. You'll see that sometimes in the tech industry if they're trying to get rid of some old video cards or something like that. Not lately, you know, I mean, the situation's definitely getting better, but over the last couple of years, yeah, you definitely wouldn't see something like that being on sale. Oh, well, yeah, it's a fairly neat design. I do like the pivot screw going on here. It is still Torx, but some nice machined head going on both sides there. It looks rather attractive. This doesn't exactly have the greatest action out of the box. It's nice and smooth, but yeah, it's a little it's not super free floating feeling. I honestly don't know at the moment if this one precedes bearings. I kind of can't quite tell, but it does feel a little bit like it's riding on washers. I don't know. Either way, the blade stock thickness on this guy looks rather thick, but yeah, it does terminate down. Still kind of thick behind the edge too. I will definitely want to reprofile that a little bit. In doing so, I will also attempt to remove the thumb stud for doing the sharpening, just so I don't want to bump into that. It also helps me not have a ridiculously crazy angle if a belt is going this way for me to miss the thumb stud on it. That is kind of a drawback of having a thumb stud that does come down over a blade, is it does increase some troubles when you're actually trying to do some sharpening. But hey, that's all I got here for now. So catch you tomorrow when I have a whole bunch of other crap coming in. Three boxes from WMK. Possibly 4 knives, I think, something like that. Today for the unboxing, I'm going to use the Trevisa links, and there is technically a particular reason for that. Let me go ahead and open these. I have not, if you're familiar with the term Greeked, the labels on these, so they still show my address. Not exactly something I'm wishing to share with the general public. But, yeah, let's see what we got here. The first one. Hey, the first one is actually that Trevisa. So, yeah, this one feels like there's one in there as well. Alright, yeah, this one just has a Rough Rider in there. A little bit of a upscale one, but alright, I'm going to keep going. Let's go ahead and open up this box. Alright, well that's a little confusing. I might need to contact him if he accidentally sent me 2. Because I only purchased one. Yeah, there's 2 of the same thing here. Well, interesting. I do have another 2 knives on the way from White Mountain Knives then. I guess I will get them Monday. And yeah, I'll have to contact them about this guy in particular. But yeah, let's go for the one that I think is probably going to be more interesting. This is the Trevisa Uma, or at least one of the 2 variants that I've seen for it so far. This is the number 4. They do have a number I don't remember if it was 3 or 5, but yeah, that's neither here nor there. Okay, yep. Let's pull him open. Or her, whatever. Alright, we got some more documentation. We got a little tag, I guess, if you wanted to... oh, it's the QC pass. Okay. We got the bag like we did last time, and here we go. It's wasn't quite in there all the way into the foam, but near as makes no difference. I don't think it's going to have any problems with it, and yeah, here we go. So, this one I got basically to kind of match this thing a little bit. This is a bit more of an upscale knife. This is an S35 VN. It is a steel liner lock, which I wasn't entirely sure of, but I kind of had a feeling from the pictures, but that's okay. Absolutely no jumping on that thumb disc, which, as far as I'm concerned, makes that thing absolutely useless. My thumb just ends up falling all off of those kind of things, and I really don't like pushing out for it, but at least it's got a flipper tab to it. Okay, so yeah, this variant has the black coated blade. This does not look to be matte finish. There we are. Grab my little microfiber cloth to clean this guy off a little bit more. Yeah, so not quite a matte finish on this one like we got over here, but we still have basically, they're both considered black micarta, but this one has some titanium accents. And of course, the length here is in 14C28N, unless you really went for the higher end version, which I think did have S35 VN. But this one looked interesting, but similar. Yeah, they both kind of arc up to the tip, so they're very, very modified worn clips. But this one has a little bit more handle to grip onto. The pocket clip is not deep carry on this one. That's a little interesting. Yeah, here we got a micarta back spacer to match. I always appreciate that little touch. They technically did it on this one, but it's pretty hard to actually see on camera the different grains in the fibrous material there. But yeah, it's interesting. I can feel the clip there, but this is probably going to be much more comfortable this way than if it had a deep carry clip on there, because that part would really just dig into my pinky knuckle, which is the part that I just don't like with the majority of deep carry clips out there. So yes, they also have another variant of this without the black coated blade, and this is marbled carbon fiber. And it actually deterred me a little bit from it because it reminds me quite a bit of, well, I'll just pull out this one. This is a Sativian. This one has a rather weird blade to it. This one is also the one where the hardware kind of messed up on the pocket clip. I still have it in its slip. But that's the reason why I had it out here in front of me. But yeah, the same kind of steel liner lock with titanium and marbled carbon fiber. And, well, I just kind of wanted this one to match and to not look so much like one of these guys. Because, well, it is quite a bit more expensive. But makes a nice sound when it opens up. It is not a quiet knife. Action seems pretty good. Probably not too bad since this blade coating here isn't a matte finish. Still, just like the Lynx, super piercy knife tip there. Might want to watch out just a little bit on this one, as this is S35 VN, which is a little less tough than the 14C28N that we have on here. So you do have just a little tiny bit more of a possibility that you can chip or break off the little tip on this one. Still probably not something that's going to be easy to do under normal use, but hey, I should probably mention that. And alright, well, let's go ahead and open up Le Rough Rider. I'm guessing that APTA is a new line for them, because they posted a whole bunch of these and none of them looked similar. whatsoever. There was Tontos and clip points and drop points and things and stuff. But yeah, it looked interesting. Hey. So yeah, this was the one that I ended up going with. And it's got denim micarta on here. This has some nice texturing on it. A bit more than the denim micarta that I have on the Penguin. Yeah, this guy here. This is much more of a I have worn these for 20 years and they are super, super worn in kind of thing. This is, well, we forgot to tumble them in the factory, so it has quite a bit of texture going on to it. A bit stained out of the factory on both sides. I don't particularly care all that much there. But, yeah, we got a Wharncliffe on this one in particular. And interesting that they don't actually list it on there. These are supposedly VG10. I can't really imagine that a Rough Rider would end up trying to pull a fast one on some people, since they are distributed in a massive amount of places. So, yep, but that's what everything from this Apta line was advertised as on their site. White Mountain Knives, that is. But yeah, this is a modern slip joint, so yeah, we have screws here and everything. It is kind of interesting there. Action, it could probably be better, but a little bit of that's probably because it has some schmutz and stuff like that interfacing between the back spring and otherwise. Fit and finish, not supremely amazing on these guys. Who'd have thought, you know? Rough Rider doesn't exactly have the absolute best track record for that particular thing in their lineups there, but still fairly nice. The denim micarta here is much proud of the liners here with that bolster there. Honestly, don't know necessarily what that material is. My best guess is steel, but it doesn't feel heavy enough. I don't know. The back spring seems, I suppose, a little light compared to some, but yeah, you can see we still have a lot of area to worry about there. Or, sorry, that absolutely made no sense. It's got a decent amount of resistance before it will go to the half stop position there. So, still fairly safe. We got, well, we have a sharpening choil of some sort there. The plunge grind is pretty quick, but the blade is right up next to it, so you got to be super careful not to end up hitting that when you're sharpening it. I suppose that is what it is. But, yeah, that's a pretty interesting little knife. I can get a nice full 4-finger grip on there. Maybe it would be a little bit different because the lanyard hole is down there on the bottom where my pinky would be. So that would end up making that fourth finger kind of uncomfortable if I had a lanyard set up on this guy. So, yeah, I don't know. But still, fairly interesting, and I'm glad to see somebody else besides QSP to make denim micarta a little bit more accessible for people. Whereas, yeah, this is just the standard canvas stuff. Yeah, this seems like a really good knife here. But, okay, so I do have another couple coming from White Mountain Knives that I thought was going to be in this batch. They're two fairly new. One of them's an exclusive, but yeah, you'll see that in just a couple of minutes. Aha, here we are with the other White Mountain Knives box. By the way, the other one of these guys that was accidentally sent in duplicate just went on its way back to them. I don't necessarily think I needed to do that, but I don't particularly need 2 copies of this particular knife. And, you know, they are kind of a smaller business, so we kind of know people by name like Justin and everything like that, so it only felt right. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop this one open. Yeah, my address is on the other side here, so I'm just going to open it up off camera. So there is the stuff opened up. All right, so in here we got a Sencut and a big old Kaiser. Oh, yeah, if you're wondering about that, I did something really stupid while I was sharpening the other Trevisa the other day. It was kind of clamped in there into my system that was sitting next to me, and then I reached over and yeah, it kind of went in right on the side of my fingernail. Fairly deep because it's also got a ridiculously crazy needle tip point on it. Hurt a lot. And it kind of looks like a bit of a gore trigger warning there. So I figured I would keep that wrapped up instead. First time I've actually used a bandage in a long time. I've used some liquid bandage kind of stuff from time to time, but this wasn't in a particularly wonderful place for that to be applicable to it. So bandage it be. Let me in. There we go. Okay, we have ourselves another button lock. Use my middle finger for it. There we go. Yeah, this is the Crowley, apparently. Hey, interesting. We got some new things for whatever reason. It has a lot of German language on it in the front part, but yeah, it's fine. And also, we got a blue microfiber cloth instead of the other color that I've seen a little bit before. So yeah, this is going to be just another button lock. Hey, the action is pretty nice on this one right out the box here. It does catch a little bit on my finger when I'm trying to flick it out. That's what's preventing that right there, but that's all right. That's just basically holding it a little bit different. It's fairly decent grind, not crazy laser thin, but still very serviceable. What does make this one a little bit different is this is one of the first Sencuts that actually uses D2, which hey, you're going to get a heck of a bump up in performance over the 9CR18 MLV that the rest of them use that are as near as makes no difference. 440C. They are slightly metallurgically different, but not really in in much of a way that really means a whole lot. But yeah, it's kind of nice. It does remind me a little bit maybe of the Civivi Cogent in handle, but it is of course much smaller. There we go. There's the Cogent there, and yeah, I meant as far as the height of the blade, but still kind of keeps you a bit further back from the blade like the Cogent does. Not exactly my favorite design, which is why they had recently come out with an S35 VN variant of that guy for a fairly affordable price, but it's kind of my least favorite button lock from them, so I kind of passed on it. I suppose they also have the Badlands Vagabond in S35 VN as well. I think both of those are Knife Center exclusives, but it is a little strange to get a high-end steel with an FRN handle. Not that Spyderco hasn't done that with their Enduras and all that sort of stuff. But, yeah, it was just, I don't know. Neither one of them really excited me super much. I can see a very, very nice plunge grind there before the blade, but still got to be a little careful since it is a bit close to it. And especially because I think the only variant of this has a black coated blade, probably because of D2 and I don't know, whatever. We got their standard Civivi clip with the standard a bit of wobble and whatnot, but that's all right. It feels nice in the hand. This one actually doesn't seem to bother me near as much. I can notice the clip, but it's perfectly serviceable. Right. All right, let's jump over to Le Kaiser. Box aside here. Yep, we got the normal amount of goodies going on in here, and oh yeah. I do like that they've been including extra hardware in the last year or so. But, okay, this is a White Mountain Eyes exclusive. And so was the previous one that apparently sold out ridiculously quick. This is a Towser K. Here's another one. I do have the Rich Light one. It's just upstairs. I use it for opening up all sorts of stuff. But yeah, as you can see, this one thumb stud deployment and liner lock. Ridiculous action on it. And well, this is the full size one here. It's got Rich Light handles. I think the color they called it was Chocolate Glacier. It's kind of greenish brown, all things being equal, but hey, it at least looks nice. And this is button lock variant of it. Yep. This also, supposedly, I haven't opened it up, but I couldn't imagine they've actually changed the interface there. Multi-row bearings for this button lock thing here. And an upgrade in the steel to CPM 3V over the 154CM that the normal ones were at. You will also notice that this one doesn't have a button or thumb studs on it. It has, yep, nice hole there. This also gets rid of, well, a flipper tab that wouldn't have existed on the original, so I suppose there's that. Yeah, let's see. It looks like it's possible that the little finger area here, where it has different jimps on it, this one has very, very fine jimping on there. But this one has just a little bit longer of a throw there, probably to make it a little bit more comfortable for the choke up there. Same pretty much with the plunge grind there, ends directly at or just right behind the edge there, so just be careful as you're sharpening. But, yes, so this is the full-size one. They did, just previous to this, I think a couple of weeks ago, release a mini version. I'm not usually, with my hands being the way they are, not usually interested in a mini version of much of anything. But then they announced this, and, well, I kind of had to, because the Towser K is just an absolutely fantastic knife to begin with. And hey, they're going to upgrade it with a button lock, which it's, it's certainly running its course right now. It is kind of the talk of the town as far as locking mechanisms go, which is interesting to me when the axis or lock or the crossbar lock that Benchmade kind of purchased from McHenry and Williams many years ago has finally run its patent out. And there's been a couple, but most of them have gone with this. Probably because it's a little bit less expensive to actually implement. And yeah, it's just kind of the toast of the town. But hey, this thing, super cool. I'm excited about this. So this is going to be my third Towser K. I only bought one of the original ones. It was the other Rich Light one that was kind of bluish. And yeah, those of you who are familiar, I did some warranty stuff with it because it just would not lock up. And contacted Kaiser about it after a little bit of back and forth. They're like, sure, we'll replace it. We don't want the other one back because it's broke. But But we also don't have the Richlight one, so would you want a Micarta one? I was like, sure. So I took that and then worked some time and filed down some of the liner and all that stuff on the other one and kind of got that one fixed. So, hey, 2 for the price of 1. And plus time, of course. But, yeah, this thing is super, super fantastic. This isn't a stainless steel, though. So, yeah, I am definitely going to keep a little bit more of an eye on it than I would for, I don't know, something like the 154 CM or something like that. I do use an corrosion inhibitor on most of my knives anyway. And it just happens to be the Tough Glide stuff because that's what comes in the Blade HQ little party pack or whatever the hell they want to call that. Yeah, it works. And it's also really, really fantastic for getting rid of tape glue and stuff like that. But hey, there we go. There's the 2 new knives that I got today. We got the Towser K and we got the Sencut Crowley. Mr. Crowley. All right. I couldn't help myself. Anyway, this should probably wrap up this video because this has a crap ton of knives that have come in. So, as always, I appreciate y'all for watching, and in this case, I'll use my middle finger. Have a nice rest of your day, yo. Subscribe, please.